Hello, I'm Karsten. I'm the co-founder of Meta Startup Studio, and this is the 100K Academy where you learn hyper-practical skills about how to start, run, and grow a purpose-driven lifestyle business. Today's topic is how to create a coaching program that sells, right? So I just want to start out with saying that we get asked this a lot, right? We work with a lot of coaches because we used to come from the coaching space, so a lot of coaches naturally come to us. So they're like, hey, I want to create a coaching program about X, Y, Z. Like, can you help me? And our first question will always be, well, so how many people have you talked to that told you that they want this specific type of program? And the answer often is, and then none really. And, when we hear this, it's basically right away an alarm clock that we are all, you as a, client coming to me wanting support, and me as a business, we're going to waste a lot of time and money. Because if I'm going to try to sell something that isn't backed on anything, it's a high chance it won't work, or it won't work as well. That's not good for me and my reputation, because you will not have a great experience, right? And in the same way for you, spending time and money on mentorship and support for something that doesn't even have a chance to begin with, that's also a waste of money, but also time, right? In this time, you could be so much further in your business building journey. And especially in the beginning, it's crucial to be fast, because you want to start earning money quickly so you can build something that sustains itself, right? So let me dive into the main point of today, actually, is how to discover what is actually wanted from people in a program, how to run customer discovery interviews that give you all the insights, and the specific methodology that we use that will allow you to really craft that offer in a way that people want to buy it. That's the foundational step for selling any coaching program. So if you're interested in selling a coaching program, you haven't done this, listen to today's episode. And it may not sound sexy, right? Because customer discovery interviews, that's not the cool, flashy marketing technique I was hoping to get in this kind of video, right? But it is the crucial step, and it can be exciting as hell. It can be fun because, especially if you're thinking of, like, I'm a coach. Let's say you're a coach. You're creating connection with people in these interviews. You're asking questions. You're basically acting as a coach. Just by asking people questions, you already give them something. You build a good human connection. You show gratitude at the end of the interview. They feel happy, you feel happy, and you got data. And if you do it well, they are highly likely your potential clients for now or a bit later whenever they're ready to buy. So with that said, I think the excitement for this process should already start to grow a little bit. And even if not, once you start getting into it, trust me, it will be there, because you're like, oh, people actually say they want the stuff I have to offer. Even just that is a feeling. It's so confidence building, because it's not anymore just you with a hypothesis, and that's much more motivational. So let me break this down for you in a few steps. The prerequisite is that you have niched down at least 4 times. We've talked about this in other videos before. And that's a prerequisite, really, right? Because you cannot run customer discovery interviews with the entire world. Niche down at least 4 times, then you know exactly where to find these people and who to contact for discovery interviews. Now, the step one is now to find them, right? Ask friends, family, colleagues you get along well with, people you know through your hobbies. Like this is the first circle you want to ask, and you want to try to really tell them to not act biased. You if possible, you don't want to tell them what you plan to do as a business yet either, to reduce the bias. If you have already told them, you want to ask them to forget it for the sake of answering these questions that you're gonna hear about from me in a second. And then only then, once you've had this inner circle, you ask them if they know somebody else, and you slowly start to expand to friends of friends, friends of colleagues, etc. And those people are already not your inner circle anymore. So you're very likely gonna have to offer them something in return, right? As a coach, you can always offer, you give me 15 minutes for an interview, I give you a half an hour coaching on whatever the hell you want, right? Always a great offer to make. And then also the people who bring you more friends of theirs, right? They don't feel so bad, because actually, they're giving someone a really cool value from you coaching them for free for 30 minutes, for them just giving you 15 minutes of their time. All right, so let's assume you have found these people, and maybe just last note on the, on what to offer to them, like a free coaching call. Don't offer them something random, right? The idea is that you have people who are your niche target customer that you speak to. So you want to offer them already something in relation to what you plan to do as a business, right? So because then if they take you up on that already, now you're already working with them for free, but they're experiencing you for a limited amount of time in a way in relation to what you building an offer around. So once your offer is ready, they're so much more likely to buy from you because they've already experienced and invested into you. They've built trust with you, right? So now let me go into the next step. So the first step is reaching out to people and immediate circles, going beyond immediate circles. Also, a key to this is to reach out to enough people, because if you just reach out to 10, not everyone responds immediately. Not everyone is going to be responding at all and coming for an interview with you or finding a timing that works in the next couple of weeks, right? So you're going to want to make a bigger list to get a certain amount of interviews, right? So start with a list of 30 and expect to get 10 in the next 2 weeks from that, right? And also build some sort of structure for yourself to follow up. Because if people don't respond to you, if you write someone a DM on LinkedIn, hey, long time, like I'm just going to start this business here in this space, don't give too much away, right? In the space of, career coaching for Fortune 500 marketing people, you are one of those, like, I would just love to interview you for 15 minutes. Like, if you give me this time, I'll be so grateful. It would be so nice of you. And, in return, I'm happy to give you like a career coaching session from what I've learned for 30 minutes for free, right? Just to give you an example. And then that person might not reply to you. And your mind will immediately go to, oh my God, they are thinking I'm spamming them. They don't like it. No, 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 no. Calm down. They are probably just busy. Life is freaking busy, especially nowadays. There's crazy amount of distraction. They may have even just wanted to reply to you. They may have even typed already their reply. They just didn't click go because a kid came in or some message popped up and they forgot about it, right? Follow up. You're going to get quite a few more in just by following up once or twice, right? Let them tell you no, thank you for whatever reason, then stop bothering them, right? But do follow up until that happens, right? So build yourself a routine in that and don't feel bad about it. All right. So now imagine they're coming to you. They are in your interview now. You're talking to them. We would always say position it as a 15-minute interview, and then you have to be very efficient with the following questions that I'm going to work you through. Yeah, and that's something that people are easy to sign up for, and it's also actually possible to do it in that time frame. You may overrun in the beginning because you're still, not so sure about the approach and you get stuck on certain things, but if you do it a couple times, it becomes actually very quick and you can definitely stick to the 15 minutes. So ask them the following 7 questions, because we're going to ask, the way we think about customer discovery interviews, not just asking random questions to people, but we want to ask questions that you can directly take to define your offer. We don't want there to be a big interpretation or gap. So we've come up with these very specific questions that will allow you to extremely quickly afterwards build offers. And you can build custom offers for every person you speak to, or you can build a productized, more standard offer that combines the red thread of answers that you're getting, right? Okay, so let's dive into the individual questions just so you get a better idea of what that means. First question is always, qualifying. Actually, that's question 0. Qualify them, right? Just to confirm you are someone who's in a Fortune 500 company and you are thinking about your career and your career development, and that's something that's on your mind and that's an important topic to you. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, awesome. Potential target customer there, right? And I think I said earlier marketing as well, right? And you are in marketing. Okay, cool. Done. Great. You're a target customer. Now let's dive into it. Question 1. When you think of that, that situation of wanting to do career development and stuff, like what is the most frustrating, difficult, painful, annoying, like draining in that process? Just give me your brain dump and let them tell you whatever it is. Take notes. This is key. Take notes, writing down the exact words they say. Some people have difficulty doing this in the moment. Then ask for like whether or not you can record this and you will delete it afterwards, because that gives you the ability after the session to rewatch it and take notes in calm, right? But it's much faster and more efficient if you can, during the interview, already take notes. And again, don't paraphrase, use their exact words of how they say things, right? So the first question is about their problem in relation to the topic that we're talking about. Now, the second question will be about what do they wish they had, right? If they could have it all, and you need to make them lose all logic and reason, not all, but you don't want them to think too logical or too constrained in any kind of way. Like, what do you wish you had? Because then they will tell you their real wishes and without the limitation. And then it's up to you to figure out how you can bring this to them, right? But let them tell you what their real wishes are, because that's what they're most likely gonna be willing to spend money on, rather than, you know, limited wishes that already have some constraints in the back of them. Then, you know, also all these wishes that they tell you, you know, I wish I had someone who could tell me how to speak to my boss, how to position myself for a promotion, how to, you know, come across more senior with more presence, or, you know, whatever it is that people comes up for them. That's something that you can include in your coaching program. Also, there could be things, you know, like, oh, building my CV. Maybe this is not a coaching methodology, how to build your CV, but you need a professional CV building expert. And that's awesome. That's a bonus that you can add in your program later, right? Find someone who does this, pay them one off, 200 euro, 100, whatever it is, right? Let them build you a little mini video on this is how you make the perfect CV, the do's and don'ts, and some templates or whatever, right? Buy something from them that you have the allowance to use in your own program somehow, or you bring them into your program and you pay them per customer a small fee, right? So you're going to obviously have to charge more and build that into your pricing, but that's the later stage, right? Think of everything that people say as something that you're going to want to include in your offer, because the more you cover holistically, the more likely they are like, oh my God, I have to buy this. This is like everything in one. It's perfect, right? If you only pick one little thing and they have still 5 other things that they need to solve in relation to their problem, it's like much more difficult to buy from you, right? Because they buy from you, then they still have to buy from that and that and that and that and that, and it becomes very, you know, daunting. So, second question: what are all your wishes that, you know, what do you wish you had support with, and that someone did for you, like in relation to this specific topic, solving all these problems and pains you've just outlined? Third question: results, right? So imagine now you were given all of that. What would be the ideal result you would see in your life? And what you want to get from that is the why. Why do they want to learn all of this? Not for the sake of getting a promotion, but for the sake of now they have more fun again because they have more responsibility, or now they have more money, which allows them to do, you know, something else. Also, always like ask for the feeling, because as coaches we all know this, and for everyone else, you know it now. What people are always really after is not the yacht, the luxury yacht with, you know, all the money that they spend on that. They don't want the yacht. That's not the real goal. The real goal is the feeling that the yacht will give them, right? The feeling of accomplishment, the feeling of freedom, the feeling of whatever, right? Confidence. Like that's what they're really after. So also, you know, in this result question, you can also ask, and what would be the feeling that it would give you? Because that's something you can use in your marketing later. All right, format, question 4. Now, imagine, you know, you have all these pains and all these wishes and all this, and someone comes to you and brings you all of that. All the things you asked for, they package it up somehow and bring them to you. How would they package them up? What comes to mind immediately? So then they tell you, oh, it would be like, I don't know, like, you know, I guess with some video lessons and some live, you know, interaction, and maybe there would be like a bigger kickoff thing, and then there would be an ongoing accountability thing, or, you know, whatever it will be. And then you ask them also, and how long do they envision this? Like, and is it like group, one-on-one? They will tell you if it's a one-on-one, you know, done for you, like really tailored attention, or it's like it's a group thing, you know, where there's some group courses, some additional materials for self-learning. And I see it as like a 6-week program. And, you know, get there first. Of course, it always depends, right? Tell them this. Of course, it always depends. But get their first idea of whatever it is that comes to their mind. And then also, and this is a very sensitive one, ask them the pricing. And you're going to want to create a lot of safety when you ask this question, right? So like, you know, like thinking about someone bringing you all of this in that format and that time frame, like what would be the amount of money that would be easy for you to pay for this? That would be like a no-brainer. You don't want the maximum, right? And people feel shy about money, so they're gonna like try to say a higher number than is actually the number, you know, and that's not gonna help you, because then you're gonna offer the higher number and then nobody's buying, and then you just waste a lot of time. And, you know, they were being nice to you, but actually it was not being nice to you. So you really want to create a lot of safety, that they give you the real number. Whatever pops to mind, it doesn't have to be logical. It doesn't have to make sense when you calculate in terms of market rates or something, you know, what else is out there. Just say the actual number that pops to your head. What would be easy? Guarantees, you know, like another question 6, very important. Like, if nothing else, especially if you're just starting out, people don't have maybe the full trust in you yet, right? So if nothing else, what could you get from this, right? What are the maybe I would know a way how to, how to do this in general. I would have learned the process in the minimum. Even if it didn't help me, I would have learned the process, right? And now I can replicate it. Maybe, can be guaranteed, right? And last but not least, ask them question 7 about their objections. Like, imagine someone brings you all of this, has these guarantees, has these, amazing features and all of that. Like, what could still get in the way? And then they will tell you whatever it is, like, oh, I don't have the money, or I'm too busy at the time, or whatever comes to mind, right? Write that down, and you're going to have to solve for that. All right. So that's step 2, right? You've done the interviews. Now you have this data. Imagine you've done this with 10 people. Can you see already, having done this with 10 people, how much knowledge and confidence you would have in building a coaching program, right? Because now it's not you. Now it's specific people. And the key is here to not just pick friends, but to pick really friends who fit also the very specific niche you've decided to cater to. Because otherwise, the red thread will not be as seamlessly to be seen, and the data won't be as valuable for you, positioning yourself in that niche. So the last thing is to identify within those people, there may be those who are like, oh, I want this super tailored one-on-one, give me everything personalized, and I'm willing to spend more money on that. And there may be the other person, like, I'm doing it all myself, like, I love to get dirty and into it, and they will pay you less for it, and they want a different format. And you may see those 2-3 different personas, and now you can start with one persona, build an offering for that persona, and start getting out there and launching it, right? And I will, below this video, just, because you've listened to it now, but there'll be a cheat sheet that we use for interviews always, where you can take your notes in, and which guides you again through what I've just said in a simple Google document. So you can get that below the video. And there's also a masterclass that we've done. Maybe I can throw this together, where we talk about how to do these interviews as well in a bit more detail. So to summarize, right? For one, niche down sufficiently, because otherwise your customer discovery will be screwed and your coaching offer won't be as relevant. That comes out of that, your coaching program. Second, ask people for interviews. Ask enough people for interviews. First your immediate circle, then go beyond the circle. Offer the people something beyond your circle, because they won't just spend even just 15 minutes on you just because. It may happen because they are friends of friends, and the friends ask, in a goodwill kind of way. Cool. But especially as you're going yourself to second connections, on LinkedIn, for example, that you sort of knew through someone, but also when your friends reach out to someone, like, give people something, because it makes it also much nicer for your friends to reach out. Then ask the 7 questions about pains, wishes, results, format, pricing, guarantees, and objections, and then build a program for one of the personas that come through from that. And my challenge to you is, if you haven't done this yet right now, right? Because none of what we talk about, one of our core values is hyper practicality and action orientation. So if you haven't done this yet, I challenge you in the next 2 weeks to do 10 interviews of this sort with this method. Even if you have done interviews before, but you haven't done it in this methodology, trust me, do it in this methodology. So challenge you within the next 2 weeks to 10 interviews. If you've done it, feel free to comment on this with your results or with questions, and you will get a personalized answer from us, we promise. So also, once you've done this, the next step will be about, marketing and positioning your offer and selling your offer out there, your new freshly created coaching program. And that's a whole nother topic, and there will be another video on this somewhere. All right. With that, I hope you enjoyed. Get into action. Much love. And